you know, I never really put a lot of stock in this, and I never really kind of believed that it would actually make a difference. And I've got to tell you, it sure as hell does make a difference. What am I talking about right now? My friends, I'm telling you, I'm talking about in Satisfactory when you overclock your machines by providing power shards. I think they're called power shards, if I remember correctly. You know, because for me, it was like, well, my stuff isn't broken, right? And, you know, whatever, I'm not even going to bother with overclocking or anything like that. I mean, I knew it was possible, but I never really looked into it to look at the actual benefits, or at least try it out, like tinker with it, right? But as I'm moving along right now, right, the items that are required are becoming more and more complex, right, in regards to their crafting. And it just got to the point where I was like it was like things weren't moving fast enough for me. Faster. So then I said to myself, okay, let me look into this overclocking business and let's see if it actually makes a difference or not, or if it's just like minuscule. So I refreshed the memory, you know, and you know, I crafted a couple of power shards, and then I placed them into my machines, and let me tell you, oh my god, yes, it does make a difference, man. Like it blows me away. Great God. Okay, so here, check this out. Right now I'm standing right next to, you know, one of my assemblers, and it's, you know, it's doing this thing. So, you know, in here I've actually been able to put in 3 of them, right? And look, 10 per minute versus the default of, I think it's 4. Yeah, like let's say 4 per minute, because, like, you know, I'm not all the way on the line or whatever, but it's 99% speed. 4 per minute versus all the way up to 10. Bro, I cannot tell you the difference that this thing is making in production, man. It is insane. Okay, so then real quick, okay, well, how do you get that? Well, there you look. There, you know, take a look, right? So power shard, like you can get them from getting the power slugs, right? So the different colored slugs, I guess, will here, they offer, like, I guess, different, you know, different production rates. So the blue one, we got like what, 7.5, yellow is 10, and then the purple one that we see there, right, is 12.5. Dude, I'm telling you, it upped my production so much so that my conveyor belts became the bottleneck. So I had to then increase the conveyor belts, not all of them, but certain key machines that I'm using here to basically manufacture like the complex, the more complex stuff, so then I can actually like make motors. Like, for instance, so I got this guy here doing a rotor, right? And if I bring you over here to this guy, right? This guy here is creating stator, or wherever you pronounce it, bro. This thing, right? Because I need both of those, this one and the rotor, right, to actually make, like, when I go back over here, right, to my main area, because I'm trying to make a whole bunch of motors. See? And I need both of those items to create a motor. And the reason why I'm doing this, right, is because almost everything now that where I'm at in the stage requires a motor for like its basic construction, and it's becoming such a pain in the ass.
Not another one. Look, I'm knee deep.
So right now I'm just basically going through a little bit of production of surplus, so that if I need motors, they're just there, right? So I guess you could say I'm prepping, right? I'm prepping. So dude, I'm telling you, okay, so back to the power shard. 1, you need to find the slugs, right? that are everywhere collecting. You can see them like they're on rocks or whatever, or near water, and you see they're just absorbing little like bits of light energy, that type of thing. You need to collect those, right? Once you collect them, you got to go in here, right? You got to go in the M.A.M, and you need to basically research them here. Power Slugs. Now, as you can see, I've almost maxed it out, right, in my tree, right? So I haven't done this one yet, but you research them here, right? So you see the cost. So you need 1 blue, right, of the Power Slugs or whatever component to research, to put it in the M.A.M, the research, so then you can now start crafting a Power Shard, right? So once you do all that and you have your Power Shard, then you can take them and place them into the overclocking slots, right, in your machines. So like this is the closest one here, right? So I only got 2 in here, right? That type of thing. So, you know, you place them in there, and then what happens is like your production goes through the roof, man. Like this one is set at 10 per minute, where the default one was probably like without the overclocking 4. So look, all this to say is, do not underestimate the overclocking of the machines by utilizing the power shards, right? Like it definitely just brings it up a notch. It just brings it up a notch, right? And then what ends up happening, maybe, you know, it might happen for you, it might not happen, depends on, you know, with your conveyor belts. But I had to, like I said, I had to upgrade my conveyor belts. They were like, I think like Mark 1s or whatever, and I upgraded them to Mark 3s. And I gotta tell you, dude, once I did that, I was just watching them zip out, right? Zip out of machines and into other machines. I was like, holy cow, I've never seen them move that fast, right? Going from a Mark 1 to Mark 3 on the conveyor belt, holy crap. So here I am now. I've got certain key machines, right, upgraded with Power Shards, right? And then I've got the conveyor belts, right, in this case over here. Let me just go on top here, give you a bit better vantage point, right? Like, look at that. They're whipping through, man. Whipping through. I've never seen my assembly line move so fast, bro. It's crazy. It is crazy, 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 crazy. So now, mind you, like I said, I haven't upgraded all of them, right? And I haven't upgraded all of my conveyor belts, right? And I haven't overclocked like all of my machines. Just certain key ones where it's like, okay, I really want to focus on getting this off the ground and getting like a lot of this like produced. So I've gone around and I've overclocked certain ones, right? And I've upgraded certain conveyor belts, not all of them. But this is just a little tip that I wanted to show you, because it's like, for me, like I said, I underestimated it, right? I didn't believe that it was actually worth the energy in regards to the research, the collecting, the crafting, right? Just to maybe get like, you know, a couple of more, you know, banged out, so to speak, from my machines. But now that I've done it, bro, if you can, just do it. Just do it. Create it. Just maybe even have it as like a default. You know what I mean? I'm going to at least, you know, overclock, you know, certain machines with 1, maybe 2 power shards. Just do it, right? You will save yourself a lot of like headaches. Like, trust me, that type of thing, right? So I just wanted to basically create this video, right? And to sort of, you know, give this little tip for you, because, you know what I mean? Because if I didn't do this, I would probably be going through a lot more headaches than I would be right now.
God damn it!
Probably would be frustrated, because at first I was crafting a lot of these things myself at the bench, right, at the hub. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute, why am I doing all this stuff? Why am I taking the energy, running around, grabbing everything, and then crafting it at the bench, right? Even though I hit the space bar and have it go automatic, but I'm like, that's what I have my machines for. Like, all my machines. Why am I doing it? Just reconfigure them. So then I reconfigured them, and then the whole thing was just like, you know, it's not moving fast enough, blah, blah, blah. So it just cascaded from me not wanting to do this to having the machines do this, then realizing the machines were not moving fast enough, right, for my liking, doing the overclocking, upgrading the freaking conveyor belts, and here I am watching these things zip by right here. Bang, bang, bang. It's awesome. It's awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So, you know what, like I said, just wanted to create this video so that you can sort of get, you know, a little bit of tip, you know, maybe for the veterans, you know, this is probably old news for you, but I am an old school, like just getting back into it after being off the grid for 10 years and getting back into gaming, you know, thanks to my buddy who, you know, hooked me up with like this game saying you should really try this out. Thank you once again, bro. You are the gift that keeps on giving. No joke, right? And you know who you are too, right? So anyway, yeah, man. So again, you know, just think about it, you know, overclocking, upgrading the conveyor belts, you know, it could be the very thing that you need just to speed up your production, right? And to sort of cut down on some lag time that you're having here, that type of thing. So, you know, that's really all I really wanted to show you. You know what I mean? If you guys have, you know, any other really tips that you can offer me in terms of like little stuff like the overclocking aspect without giving me too many spoilers, right? That type of thing, I would greatly appreciate it. Like, you know, right now, I mean, I don't know, like I've got coal, right? Whoa, what the, oh, there. Wow, okay. The holy crap, I was like, what the hell, holy crap, right? Without giving me too much spoilers, so you can see where I'm at, right? Like I've got the complete phase 2, I've got that there, right? I've got coal for a power source, that type of thing, you know, maybe that will give you I guess you could say an area where you can judge where I'm at, so you can know not to go too far and give me spoilers or whatever, because I'm trying not to, like, you know, basically ruin the gameplay for me by reading something and be like, oh my god, you know what I mean, what, you know, I need to hurry up and get there, whatever. It's like, no, I want to progress at least in a natural form. So, you know, but that being said, if you got any more tips, you know, comment below, let me know. I would love to hear it. I would love to try that type of thing. And, you know, thanks again, guys. Like, I've had so many tips provided on through the comments on other issues and other stuff, and I've implemented some, and I believe I've gotten back to those who said, hey, try this or whatever, and I think I've responded to all of you, you know. So I just want to say, you know, you guys are awesome. This gaming community on YouTube is just phenomenal. You guys are always like super positive, and you guys are always like giving me tips and stuff like that, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate like the support that you're giving me on my, you know, newborn channel, you know, the commenting, the liking, you know, and it's just, I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart, like, you know, thank you, you know, for being here and you know, enjoying this ride with me and commenting and whatnot. So but beyond that, that's about it for now. I just wanted to basically do this video, talk about the power shards, the overclocking of the machines, you know, how like also the upgrades of the conveyor belts, how that can help increase your production like crazy through the roof, man. Crazy, from like 4 to like 10 per minute. That's just like, for me, that's awesome. That's just damn awesome. So anyway, that's it. Be good, be safe, and I'll see you in the future. Peace out.